Welcome to the Rig Rubdown, everybody.
Hello, thank you for joining us here at Follow Your Sound.
Yes, my name's Danny Jams.
And I'm Zeus Alexander.
And today, we're gonna be rubbing some rigs.
That's accurate, yeah. Too often are everyone's rigs crusty, dusty, musty, skunky. It's disgusting.
It's terrible.
So we are empowering everyone on YouTube, on the stage, in the home.
Wherever.
Clean your gear.
Yes.
Simple. Maintenance. Longevity.
Mm-hmm. Preach.
Happiness.
Yeah. You will have a better sex life if you clean your gear. But no, what are we gonna be cleaning today? Like and subscribe. Do it. Why? Why not? We're fun.
So today we have this amp, which is a project of mine I've been meaning to get to. This is a late 70s, early 80s Moog and Gibson Lab Series L9. So it's a solid state. It's close, cousin to the Super Reverb as far as the sound and how they designed it. It's pretty cool. It's the ooeyest, gooeyest solid state I've ever played.
Very gooey.
I enjoy the reverb very much. It sounds crazy and I love it.
Yeah.
And that could just be my amp specific. I'm not exactly sure.
It's funny, when I first met you, I had a solid state amp.
Okay.
And you convinced me tube was the way to go.
Oh, yeah.
And ever since that moment, I have not been able to play a solid state and enjoy it until you brought this amp into our home, because this thing is wild.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a tube amp guy, but this is one of those that can rival the feeling of a tube amp at least. It does sound a little bit more on the nose, I think, but it has a very cool sound. It also sports a 15-inch EV speaker that is, tons of low end. It's a lot of fun. This amp has never been cleaned in its life since the 80s.
So dusty.
It's dusty, moldy, it's gross. So today, this is what I'm going to be rubbing down and cleaning.
Today I just got my dirty old pedal board. I have never really cleaned it. I think the only last time it was cleaned was probably with you when you did all the wiring for the board.
Yeah.
And you made me wipe down all my gear.
Yes. Yeah, this video is just secretly me forcing Daniel here to clean his entire pedal board.
Yes.
It's gross.
It's bad.
How many gigs do you think you've done with this board since the last clean?
I would say we're pushing 250.
250 gigs, guys, that this board has gone through, so it's pretty crusty and gnarly and gross.
That's all we're gonna say about it. Let's rub some freaking rigs down, dude.
Let's rub it down.
Let's do it. All right, I'm gonna start with this whammy here. 409 cleaner, sure, why not?
Yeah, little 409. You can use alcohol as well. We've got some Q-tips and paper towels. I'm just pulling all the knobs off of the front of the amp and giving all the potentiometers a spritzing of deoxit and turning them, kind of wiggling that deoxit around within the pot.
Nastiness, dude.
Yep. We need some cleaner on that.
I got it in here. On it. I'll do a little bit more, though. I like to be ginger with my pedals.
A 1/4 inch for the 1/4 inch plug here, and I sex it up a bit and get that moving around.
Can you say that one more time? What do you do to it?
I gotta sex the jack.
Yeah. In and out. Who do you think, guitar-wise, or I guess any musician, has the dirtiest gear?
What musician has the dirtiest gear?
Yeah. Dead or alive?
Dead or alive?
Yeah.
I'd have to say Kid Rock. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe.
He's pretty dirty.
I feel like he's got people though that just do it, so that's a hard one.
I'm gonna say Stevie Ray Vaughan.
You think Stevie Ray Vaughan just has the grittiest, or had the grittiest
You see
gear?
how much that man sweats on stage?
Yeah.
And he's just dripping it on his guitar.
Yeah.
I don't know if he has pedals. I mean, I know he probably has a few, but...
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not a big Stevie guy.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, it's a good sound.
Rub action. Just dirt now.
Yeah, get the Q-tip. That's what that's for. Q-tip your pedals when there's nooks and crannies, hard places to reach. Q-tips with a little 409 or alcohol. That's what's up.
That's what's up. Did you know Q-tip was actually like it's the brand and it's not?
Yeah, technically it's a cotton swab.
Yep. Same thing with Band-Aid.
Yep.
It's a bandage.
It's a bandage.
Band-Aid's the brand. Alright, let's see. I'm so bad at this. I thought on was just no. You're breezing by this. I'm over here struggling for a lifetime.
Yeah, I might clean each individual knob though, which, you know, I might not. That might be, you know, that's not a component that's gonna mess with the circuitry or anything, so I might just keep the knobs grungy. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling.
So one thing I'd love to see when I lift a pedal off my board is that I'm missing one of the feetsies.
Also, as a disclaimer, please do not take the amp head out of your amp and touch anything or clean anything without actually knowing how to discharge it, and just make sure you're being safe.
Yeah.
Take it to a tech if you're unsure.
Yeah. That's good advice. Dude, so I was scrolling some music news recently, and you know how we've been like speeding up some of our videos for fun?
Yeah.
Well, apparently that's like a whole trend where a lot of people on TikTok are also doing that, and so much so that Universal Music Group actually has released like a compilation album of like famous pop artists and music sped up.
That's ridiculous.
It's honestly, I think that's hilarious. Like the music industry is being changed every day.
Yeah.
By internet trends.
Yeah. I think that's accurate.
And I don't know if it's good or bad.
I'm with you on that. I'm not sure myself. I mean, it's one thing, you know, you make music specifically for TikTok and you can get, you know, do you get money from that? Do you get more popularity? Like, how does that work? I don't know.
I guess the main thing is like viewership is what everyone's going for now.
Yeah.
You know, like ticket sales are one thing, but if you have followers and
Clout,
then no matter what you do, you can sell merch, you can sell NFTs if you're into that, you know, but
yeah,
it's kind of crazy. It's very different than just even 5 years ago, like before the use of TikTok. I mean, we have Facebook, social media and stuff, but like, yeah, I feel like TikTok has really changed the game in a lot of ways. And how people view music, like visually. I'm more into like long viewing. I like where some artists now have started creating like TV shows.
Yeah.
That kind of serve as their purpose for producing music, but it's not necessarily all their songs. They're kind of just creating a soundtrack that has their like vibe on it. Which I'm in like Atlanta, as we all know. Dave is one of them. Yeah, music's weird now. You have to do everything. You can't just play music.
Well, is it that you have to do everything, or that's like the evolution as an artist to do more?
Yeah.
To reach more people? Is to start doing TV or movies or, you know, that sort of deal.
Yeah.
Or like a different form of artistic expression.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's all media.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it all goes hand in hand, right? You can play...
Pass me that DRC.
Yep. You can play your music in your show and that sort of deal, so it all circles back, though.
Definitely interesting. I just feel like music is so visually based now.
Yeah.
And not necessarily always as like your standard music video that we saw growing up a lot of the times with like 90s artists just like in a room singing the song and people are like, that was great, you know? Like now music videos are movies.
Well, you know, and that stems from like stimulation, overstimulation, and the fact that people get the next thing has to be even bigger, even crazier, even more, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like when you get to this point where you just have to basically overdo it just to stay hip or cool, you know?
Yeah, video killed the Radiate Star.
Yep.
I mean, that's even how Talking Heads blew up, was like their music videos. And the like start at MTV.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, MTV was the source of a lot of bands blowing up or artists.
But it was like right around the time where like no one knew what MTV was. It was like,
Yeah.
it was kind of a joke when people were like, oh, we're going to just air music videos all day, which was sweet. Bring it back, MTV. Please, for the love of God.
Yeah, but see, they changed their programming to reality TV,
Yeah.
you know, for the most part.
And it's funny how like reality television, which is like super live and just like not, I mean, it's well produced, but it's not scripted.
I mean, it's not super well produced. It's not like a movie.
No. But yeah, it's like, that's the biggest television out right now.
Yeah. Then, you know, I'm guilty of it,
Yeah.
of watching it.
Yeah. The Real World.
The Real World.
Old school.
I've been watching The Real World recently and loving
Yeah.
it. I don't like to go out often or like drink that much, so living vicariously through crazy people in the real world is fun for me.
They should make a Real World, but it's just all different types of musicians.
I mean, a lot of the seasons do have musicians, but not like all of them.
It would be like a DJ, a metalhead, a pop star, some jam band dude.
Yeah.
None of it would make sense. Everyone would fight. We know it. Or they'd all be great. Who knows? All right, these gloves are uncomfortable.
You know, yeah, take them off.
What else would you call a Band-Aid then? Besides a Band-Aid. Such good brand.
Sticky bandage.
Working through the pain.
I'm gonna like glue that back in or something.
Yeah. I actually never really looked under this wall pedal until now. And I kinda wanna throw up. It's bad. This is probably my most used pedal too.
Yeah.
Because I always be getting funky. Did you hear that Apple released their VR headset?
Yeah, I saw a little YouTube video about it. It looks pretty crazy.
Yeah, honestly, all the photos of it made me hate it immediately. Because it's just like people in their living room wearing a VR headset, having a conversation with their kid. And that's just like weird to me. Like, I
Yeah,
think,
that was the weirdest aspect, I think, was that video where they're like having a moment as a family and the dad's just got like the VR headset taking a picture or
Yeah.
whatever and you know, what kind of memory is that for the child? Like, that's just weird.
right?
Like, why'd you have to open with that?
Yeah.
You know, like just game or like watch movies on a giant screen.
That's
or like
perfect.
Be productive, but like you really had to take it to the level of like a birthday with the family.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
It's good. But I don't know. Part of me is like worried because like now, yeah, it's expensive. I would never wear something really like that. But I mean, I kind of thought the same way about AirPods when they first came out. I was like, they look ridiculous. Everybody is in on it. I don't really care that much. I'll stick to headphones. But now, like, I can't even imagine a life without AirPods. Like, I love them so much.
Yeah, I haven't done the AirPod thing yet, but I know it's inevitable at some point.
But yeah, do you think like VR headsets would turn into that eventually? Like,
I don't know. They're too expensive. It's $3,500 a headset. They are really cool and the tracking really great on them though. So
yeah,
we'll just have to see how it goes.
I do think it's kind of cool where you can like see your computer screens kind of like flash up.
Yeah, if you have a Mac, then you can have a secondary screen that's just like huge. That's cool.
Imagine mixing in VR.
Yeah, it'd be cool, but again, it's like it just kind of takes you out of the human element.
Yeah.
That much further.
Yeah, and they're trying to like brand it for like concerts and stuff too, which is interesting because I feel like, I don't know, we've dabbled in live streaming. It's fun, but personally, I don't think it replaces a concert experience.
Yeah, no.
But when it's VR, that might be a little different.
Right.
I don't know.
We'll have to see. I'm wondering like how, first of all, it has a 2-hour battery life.
Yeah, you have to be plugged
So
in.
you gotta plug in.
Yeah.
And then, you know, how long can you wear it before like eye fatigue or like any sort of repercussions to the human body are concerned, you know?
So I've heard that people have tested out the new one, and they say, like, just the headset's heavy. You know, it looks very comfortable, and it has, like, comfortable features to it, but at the end of the day, it's going to get exhausting to wear.
Yeah.
So
I just remember the first sort of, like, a VR headset that I knew of was the Virtual Boy growing up.
Okay.
And playing Mario Tennis or whatever on the Virtual Boy.
What a throwback.
And it would give me a headache after like 15 minutes of playing that.
Yeah. I think it's like, I don't know, I tried it at a friend's house and it was a blast, but I couldn't see myself like picking it up again.
Yeah.
Unless I like lived alone. But
I mean, we had it for years, and I think I played it a handful of times. It was hard on the eyes.
Yeah.
I also had it, you know, the Sega Genesis was like my shit.
That was a good one. Oh my gosh, so much alcohol.
Rub-a-dub-dub, clean your gear.
All right.
Make it last another year.
Just one more year.
Hopefully more. But we'll see what's in store.
For the rest of humanity. Ugh. Dude.
It's like the caps look fine, but there's just mold on them, which is ridiculous. This must have been in a basement at some point, this amp.
Do you think YouTube will get into VR?
Eventually, sure.
Yeah,
Why not?
I guess why not? I don't know. It's just so interesting to where like we are now because of technology. And I feel like it's changing everything so quickly. Especially with like AI stuff.
Well, it's an exponential growth because like our microchips, you know, get more powerful exponentially each year or every 2 years or whatever. So it's just like the tech is just continuing to grow so rapid at this point that it's getting crazy.
It's just at like what point is it too far? Like digital, very convenient, but like analog gear sounds amazing.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm a proponent for analog gear. I love the intangibles with analog gear. You know, like a nice spring reverb tank. It never hits the same way twice, and I love that. It's character, you know?
Well, I think that's what makes art and music so beautiful is like the imperfections.
Yeah, exactly.
If something's too perfect, it just can kind of sound corny.
Agreed.
Or just like stock music that was made by computers.
Yeah.
So yeah, like what do you feel about AI then in art and music?
I don't know. Initially, I thought AI art was very harmful to the human artist, you know?
Yeah.
And especially since it's just like ripping off other people's styles of art.
Yeah.
That's not cool to me.
That's
as far as AI music, I don't know. I haven't heard much of it, but I guess I'd have to hear it. But again, yeah, it's just taken away from the human element of art anytime you do.
So would you say
use AI?
Or is an arpeggiator taking away from art? When you use a piano to basically play stuff that
I think it's a tool that you can use to, you know, do something a little differently, or that's a tool in the toolbox for a human to use as they see fit.
True that. You still have to have someone to play it. Yeah, next Rubdown's gonna be us rubbing down ourselves. Because gear is important, but your body, that's number one. Your body is a wonderland. I go back and forth with the AI thing, because I feel like it can be cool to help with certain aspects, but like as soon as someone's like, look at this AI thing that I typed in.
The art I made.
Yeah. I immediately just turn out, like, I'm not interested.
Yeah, I get that.
But using it when you don't know how to do art and you want a single artwork and it's expensive, I understand why people are attracted to it.
Yeah.
Because it does look really cool.
Let's be real, it's just lazy.
Yeah.
That being said, it can create some really cool stuff, though.
Like, I was
that
thinking,
you wouldn't make, or whatever.
how interesting would it be if you had AI on stage making noises and music, and it was reacting to, like, the live jam that you were playing? Like, there was a microphone set up, and it heard you and the key and the rhythm, and it was just, like, creating random blips and, like, crazy things. Like, like that could be interesting.
Or, a visual on a projector behind you or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's just all automatically done.
Yeah, in the moment.
That could be cool.
That could be cool. But overall, I think there's too much technology. I feel like everything that we're living in nowadays, it's like, cool, we get more convenience, that's great, it saves you time, but at the end of the day, is it actually saving us time, or are we just spending more time trying to adapt to technology?
Spending more time to try and be lazy?
Yeah. Because
putting more effort in being lazy.
Who really wants to work? Nobody.
No one really wants to work.
I mean, I like making music, but there's definitely some work parts of music that I do not enjoy.
Yeah.
But I feel like you have...
Well, that's a good conversation, is when music is your full-time job, does that detract from the enjoyment of it?
I would say I probably played less music for just, like, sitting in my room and practicing. Now that it is, like, a full-time job for me. Because, like, I'm so focused on booking and promoting and other things that, like, my practice time can definitely hurt unless I make it a point to, like, set a boundary.
Yeah.
And sit with my instrument. Because that gives me the most joy at the end of the day. And what you do in your room is not necessarily what you do live.
Yeah.
Like, I've tried to do that, be like, oh, let's, have fun, let's experiment, let me try things that I'm not 100% on, and then it just goes pretty bad. Well, we definitely rubbed some rigs down.
Yep.
How you feeling about your setup over here?
I'm feeling good. Hopefully it, works without any crackling pots. And I'm kind of surprised at just how this thing is still running, even with all these, like, mold issues in the cab and in the head a bit.
Dang. Well, you did a bang-up job.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, I'm pretty much done over here. So, are you pretty much finished here? You want to put this back in your amp?
Well, I did want to talk a minute on, what we plan on doing with this segment.
Yeah.
So, in this segment, we plan on bringing some guests in, some fellow musicians, and they can clean their gear and talk about their experiences with music, talk about life, talk about pop culture, anything that they want to. And at the same time, they are maintaining their gear that they use on the road, on tour, and at gigs.
Yeah, we want to put our guests to work, because honestly, I've seen too many podcasts where everyone just is sitting there doing nothing and saying nothing, give them a task.
Yeah.
And our task is clean your gear, because we know it's dirty.
We know your gear is crusty.
Yeah.
You might as well fix that.
Yeah, let's take some time together and clean on camera. And that's the rig rubdown. So,
if you guys like this kind of content, make sure to like and subscribe, hit the bell notifications so that you see any upcoming videos we release.
Yeah, and in the comments, throw us your thoughts on what you think of AI in music. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you not care? Whatever. Let us know, because we're interested.
Cool. Well, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time at Follow Your Sound.
Wait till the next, full synth intro.
Alright. Well, we can't do green. I like when purple hits.
Alright.
I know this
Next
wait.
one.
Yeah, wait. Alright, you ready?